welcome! Welcome to Master Swan Open number 86. Welcome to the monthly Master and Below tournament for 4.7k MMR and below. And we are already in game number 1. We are in this series of the first round. Today is a double elimination, so there will be a lot of matches coming, but first let's introduce our players. In the bottom left corner we have the red Protoss player, it is Bulochkin. I need to warm up my zooms. And across the map we have their opponent, it is the blue Zerg player, representing Jedi Knights. It's Master Chanz. Both of our players have played in our tournaments before, so you might have seen them. They're fairly regulars. I feel like I see Bulochkin a lot, and Chanz has appeared a few times as well. Chanz also contributed to a few tournament prize pools in the past, mostly to Ducklings Open specifically. So always nice to see people taking part. And yeah, looks like we are starting today with a ZVP. So good morning. Nice day for fishing, ain't it? You're welcome, Chanz. Because that's a funny thing, like I use that phrase a lot, and like nobody knows what the reference is, but clearly the chat knows, so that was just for you, chat. Yeah, looks like we will be starting with a fairly standard game on our hands. In fact, it was even a hatch first, wasn't it? From Chanz, so quite economical openings on both sides. Of course, Chanz was able to get his regular base, didn't get it blocked despite the probe being there. I didn't notice if it was quite a 15 hatch or not, but definitely an early one. And it also gives some space for Bulochkin to take a base of his own. So yeah, both of our players will be going economical. We're not doing anything cheeky on Amphion. Amphion definitely a map which has seen quite a few unusual strategies. Third base for Chanz. No advanced tech chosen yet, just going for link speed. Yeah. As I mentioned before, today's tournament is a double elimination bracket, as generally when we have a few less check-ins, we do go for the double elimination. Oh, I didn't change that was wrong. That's okay. I will remember next time, maybe, potentially. No promises. As we have Chanz scouting around the base of Bulochkin, and he should be able to see that robo at the same time. We have that adept across the map. Was it actually trapped by links? Hold on. No, where is it? Where did adept go? Okay, it's coming back home. Okay then. It was trying to poke around these spaces for a little bit, but I guess there were enough queens to chase it away. And we do have a Roach Warren from Master Chanz. So it will be roaches after all. I mean, a fairly standard option there for a CVP. 3 gases, so yeah, looks like roaches definitely. So Overlord was able to scout quite a lot, but is now being pushed into a corner. I will say though that's a very interesting spot for the Biweekly, considering how close the Overlord is. No, yeah, it can just barely see it. So yeah, Bulochkin kinda, I'm not sure, I think that was a bit unintentional, but kinda gave away what the next step in the tech is. With the Forge coming up, I guess we will be seeing Zealots? Question mark? But we do have a lot of Stalkers, so maybe not. Maybe it will be just, you know, a more Stalker heavy Gateway army. But no, it is charged, so yeah. Usually Forge together with Fire Vacancy ends up being charged with +1, so it's generally a decent indicator of Zealots. Chanz does scout at third base coming up. He's also getting ready an army of his own. He has a lot of Zerglings and he's working on roaches right now. An Overseer flies right by the base. So Chanz is aware of everything that Bulochkin is up to. Sees the Templar Archives on the way as well, although of course had to click on it, so I'm not sure if he saw what exactly it is. Yeah, looks like both of our players will be preparing their armies. I mean, Chanz is waiting for the roach speed, and actually I don't think Chanz has an Evo. Yeah, there are no Evos, so there will be no upgrades for the Zerg army for the time being. Meanwhile, Bulochkin is trying to protect his base. There is one Immortal in that army, another one is on the way. It's nicely tucked in right in the middle of this gateway ball. Ooh, but the bias connect with quite a few Stalkers there. Oh, the Immortal is now under bite of those Zerglings, not really under fire, and it does go down, and the Stalkers are starting to fall. A lot of them did connect with the bias, some of them were destroyed by the Zerglings, and it looks like the army of the Zerg is overpowering. The third base will be taken down. But does Bulochkin have enough of a response to protect the natural? There is another Immortal out, so that will definitely help, but there are so many Zerglings here and the wall isn't quite a wall. The Zerglings flood in, they surround the Protoss army, and yeah, with that GG is called. Master Chanz will be taking game number 1. So that's a quick game number 1 there for Chanz. Yes, let me fix this, because clearly something didn't quite go right. There you go. Let me double check if we have all the brackets where they should be. Okay, we have our second map. So that will be soon. And then let me check if we have our commands up to date. Okay. Yeah, we are sorting out the lobby, make sure that the correct server has been picked. This is a bit of an intercontinental match. Is that the right word? Looks like we have to sort out some more stuff about the setup. That's okay. We should be having that second game on the way soon. I guess in the meantime we can take a quick look at the bracket. Okay. Let me see if I can maybe... There we go. Now we can see everything. And yeah, as you can see, we have a double elimination bracket today. We are currently in the series at the top. Let me quickly mark the score. We are in Chanz versus Bulochkin, and the opponent of the winner of our series will be either DizzyDwarf or Captain Fish. So lately some strong opponents there. Meanwhile, we also have I want to say newcomers, but I don't know if that's fair to say. We have Beast the C2 going against I Like Trains, now known as Llama. So we'll see how that one goes. We also have another series, SamirDuran versus Davlitos, and that one has already concluded. So we have a 2-0 for SamirDuran. Davlitos going to the lower bracket, and SamirDuran will be waiting in the semi-finals, I guess. I mean, yeah. It's round 2 of the upper bracket. Just, getting that lobby set up. Oh, a quick shout out to Kashim. Subscribing for 13 months. Thank you. Kashim, of course, for those who don't know, although I don't know how we may not know Kashim at this point, because he's one of the legends of StarCraft. He is one of the most active Wikipedia contributors. He's definitely the most active Ali Gulag contributor. So if you're using any of these, then you have definitely seen his work. Looks like we have a game. It took like, you know, 10,000 tries, but finally we have a lobby actually working because we've been having a lot of bugs. But, you know, that happens. That happens. And welcome to map number 2, as we are now on Ghost River. We are on Ghost River, and in the top right corner of Ghost River we're looking at our red Protoss player from Belarus. It's Bulochkin. And across the map we have his opponent. It is the blue Zerg player from Australia, representing Jedi Knights. It's Master Chanz. I just got it. I'm not very fast today. It's called Master Chanz because he's of the Jedi Knights. Okay. I see. Yes. Then it looks like we have another fairly standard game for our players. This time, pull first from Chanz into hatchery. Again, not being blocked by that probe. Looks like Bulochkin values the scout much more. And we have 6 Zergling on the way, and actually more Zergling coming from Chanz, going to the total of 10. Never math on stream. Ooh, there's even more on the way. Is it? Or is it just the same two? No, it's the same two, I think. Will he make more? That's the question. Will he make more? Or is that it? Because, no, okay, there are drones on the... Oh, but the Zerglings do go through the wall. The probes did not block it in time. And there is no Zealot yet. The Zealot came out now, but the pylon is already damaged. The Zealot gets surrounded as well. The probes are being pulled off the line to help with this defense, and that they will, as the Zerglings did focus on the Zealot, but that was very, very risky for a moment there for Bulochkin. Of course, this is still lost mining time. This is still the damage on the pylon, which can be taken down later. The probes are also very damaged. The first of them does go down. He lost the Zealot, so you know, there have been losses. But at the very least, the wall still stands, and the mining can resume as soon as this is dealt with. So yeah, this was really risky for a moment there for Bulochkin, but he does hold. In the meantime, Chanz is able to macro up, about to take that third base in the front. Bulochkin get even a second Zealot. I'm not sure if that's what he wants, but you know, maybe just making sure that there is no second link flood coming. But that was it for the attack for Chanz. He is turning up from this point. With 2 Zealots, Bulochkin now feels safe enough to get his own Nexus. Important to point out, because of all of this, Warp Gate is delayed. It's only now just started, so the production of the Protoss will be slowed down for quite a while. Meanwhile, we have Lair coming up for the Zerg. I assume we will be seeing Roaches once again, as the Jedi work pretty well, and yeah, the Roach Warren just goes down. And the question is, with the delay in production, will Bulochkin be able to, you know, get enough units out before Chanz comes with his attack? This time he does kill the Overlord, which is very important because in the previous game Chanz had a lot of information from those scouts. Another round of sailing coming to the wall, but of course this is not a force that's actually, you know, hoping to do any damage. This is more of a scouting force, and you know, Chanz just checking what kind of units are there at the wall. Bulochkin meanwhile going for a Twilight Council. Not seeing Forge yet, so I guess this will not be charged this time. Or maybe it will be just coming a bit later. Meanwhile, Chanz getting speed for both Zerglings and Roaches at the same time. Not the most usual. Also, he has an Evo Chamber this time, so he should be able to get upgrades. Will he do that? We will see, but he should be able to get some upgrades. Meanwhile, it is still charged from Bulochkin. I mean, definitely very helpful against Roaches. A little less versus Zerglings, I feel like, but still can be very useful in this fight. We do have quite a few Zerglings gathering here though, so Bulochkin has to be careful. Also, no, I mean this is an Overseer, but okay, this is okay. For a moment I was like, oh, is he gonna like bring in Overlord and like ferry them over into the main base? Something that was a thing quite a few years ago, but no. It was just an Overseer, nobody panic. Changeling was able to check out what exactly is in the army of the Protoss. Has seen a lot of the gateway units. Zerglings have to go back home because there's nothing they can really do here. The one of them is left alone, of course, because of the third base, making sure that Chanz is aware of whenever Protoss is taking. And yeah, looks like Chanz is waiting for the right moment to strike because he already has quite a standing army. Getting more Roaches, not getting the upgrades, which is a bit concerning, as the upgrades for Bulochkin are starting. I mean, charge is already done and last one is on the way. So even though there may be not that many units, like, that still may be a strong army, although it's important to point out there's no Immortals this time. The Robo has only just finished and it is working on a War Priest first, so there will be no Immortals in the first fight if it happens quite quickly. Oh, this changeling is much more sneaky. Meanwhile, Bulochkin also gets a nice scout of the bases of Chanz, getting an eye on the army as well. There's another hatchery being thrown down for our Zerg player. The first Immortal is on the way, and this time Chanz is actually giving quite a lot of time to our Protoss. And only now the move out happens. I mean, still the Immortal is not out yet, it's just the Gateway army versus the Zerglings, Roaches and Ravages. So this will not be an easy hold for Bulochkin, but he definitely has some forces prepared. His third base is being abandoned though. And it is not cancelled, it is a kill on the Nexus. But the Immortal is now here. There are some Archons as well. The Zealots do have charge and they go straight for the Roaches actually. The Zerglings completely melt immediately. But now all the Zealots are dealt with and it's this Roach Ravager army versus the Gateway units. The Immortal goes down, the Archon does as well, and it's not enough. GG is called. Chanz will be taking this series 2-0. GG. Nicely done there from Chanz. I mean, also a good play for Bulochkin as well, but in the end it wasn't quite enough to take his opponent. And yeah, that means Chanz will be advancing on in the bracket. You can take a quick look at said bracket. And as you can see, Chanz is now waiting for the winner of DizzyDwarf and Captain Fish. Meanwhile, SamirDuran still waiting of a winner of Beast or I Like Trains, also known as Llama. Let me see how all of that is going. Looks like Llama is in game, so they must be playing. Meanwhile, DizzyDwarf and Captain Fish, I believe they will be playing on EU, as both of them are from Europe. So I guess we'll go on a quick break, and as soon as we have our players ready, then we'll be back with Master Swan Open number 86. we are back to Master Swan Open number 86. We have the second series of our tournament. And if you are in the chat, make sure to join the predictions because they should be now open. Or they should still be open. As a reminder, this stream is on 2-minute delay. So keep that in mind. The predictions are of course for the entire series, not for a single game. Let me also make sure that everything is working, but before that let's introduce our players as we have a fresh new series. And in the top top left corner of Side Delta, our first map of this best of 3, we have a blue Terran player from Poland representing SCQ. It's DizzyDwarf. And across the map from Australia we have our red Zerg player representing the Jedi Knights. It's Master Chanz. So Chanz has just taken down the Protoss Bulochkin and is now facing a Terran. Once again 2 Europeans in a row, so we are playing this on US West because no, Australia to Europe is a pretty rough matchup. And we will see how our players will do with this one. In the meantime, let me make sure that everything is working. I did fix the logos mode, so I have to make sure that everything is working. Once again, shout out to Jado for making a bunch of tools for our stream, including the new scene switcher. If some of you remember, because no, if you have been streaming StarCraft for a while, you might have recognized like the old OBS scene switcher that was made by, I believe the name is Lee Oliver, I think that's the name. But anyway, there was an OBS scene switcher for StarCraft specifically, but with one of the newer versions of OBS, unfortunately it has stopped working, and there have been some attempts to update it, but you know, they were more or less successful. But recently Jadov stepped up and made a completely new plugin for OBS, for StarCraft. I mean plugin. A new script program? Look, I'm not programming myself, so I don't really know the correct terminology. But it is like a small little program that you can use for automatic scene switching in OBS, specifically for StarCraft. So if you are interested, then make sure to check it out. I'm pretty sure we have it linked somewhere on the Discord, so you should be able to find it there. Meanwhile, we have DizzyDwarf poking in with the Reaper, trying to see what can be done. Ooh, the Queen actually gets pushed away, but that's not enough to put the drones in danger. Reaper does survive just barely with every attack. Meanwhile, back at the base of the Terran, we have steam on the way, we have Marines coming up. We have double racks into factory, into starport. So, yeah, we have 2-on-1. It's been a while since I've said that, but we have a 2-on-1. This Reaper is still alive, by the way. Playing with fire every time. Always very low on health, but DizzyDwarf is saving it just barely, so very nicely done there on the micro. Really getting the most out of that Reaper. Chanz already up on 3 bases, but of course still needs to saturate them properly. Going for a Baneling Nest. Will definitely be useful versus all of these Marines that are about to come up. His Overlord will see some of them. Should be able to see quite a lot of Marines, so maybe should be a bit of a tell for Master Chanz that something is coming up. Master Chanz has not seen the main base of the Terran, so doesn't quite see exactly what is going on, but with this amount of Marines probably can guess that an aggression is coming. And double medivac drop is ready, will now be going across the map. Chanz is getting spores in his bases. I mean, that will help, but versus Marine, if the medivac gets caught, that sure will help. But yeah, but we in defenses right now. There are a few queens, which will definitely help. There are Zerglings in the natural base. There are no banelings yet. Even though the baneling nest is finished. The queens are pushing away the medivacs for now, but the double drop is just rotating. Baneling speed is on the way, but it only just started. Fortunately for Chanz though, it doesn't look like DizzyDwarf is too aggressive with this drop. He's rather looking for an opening than diving straight in. And Chanz is able to chase it away. This pays a lot of attention to where the movement is. The Zerglings are trying to get some of the Marines, but of course that's not an easy job for just a few Zerglings. The queens are way out in the open. I got really focused on dealing with this drop and took a bit of a hike to this lake over here. Though one of them is still behind, will it be spotted by DizzyDwarf? No, but these two will, and they are going down. With the third one is so close. No, don't go this way! The third one also goes down. Very unfortunate there for Master Chanz. In the meantime though, he was able to set up a fourth base, so that's definitely nice. The Terran has his third prepared as well. Not saturated yet, but it's already on location. And Chanz is going for Hydra then. I mean, Hydra is definitely useful, especially against Terrans who like to drop. They do help to deal with these medivacs. So there are now a few banelings with speed. So this Terran army won't have such an easy time coming in and out. But we have two drops on both sides. Two double medivac drops, and now Master Chanz has to split his forces. One of the forces is going straight to the natural base, and that's where the army of the Zerg is focusing. The other army is going for that new fourth base. The queen goes down, the drones have to be evacuated. At the same time there's another drop in the natural, but it is being deflected. So overall, I mean, while this is causing some chaos in the bases of Chanz, like none of the drones have been killed. A few queens did go down, which is definitely a painful blow there. But the drones have been safe so far. These marines should be eventually cleaned up, and this drop is also being watched with a careful eye. So I don't think it should be able to get any damage done. But while all of those was happening, DizzyDwarf was preparing the main army. We have tanks here, we have even more marines. That one Reaper from the beginning of the game is leading the charge. And does Chanz have enough to defend, and does he have the units in position, most importantly, because he was forced to split that army. Regicide, I mean, true. Oh, the tanks are definitely taking a lot of those banelings and zerglings out. The marines are moving forward, the base had to be cancelled. Now the entire army of Chanz is coming here to this position, but at the same time there is more Terran on the east side of the map as well. The Link Crane though is rolling into this siege positions, and the tanks are going down, the marines are definitely going down. The last tank just barely gets saved, and the single Hydra tries to finish it off, but is not able to. And most of army of DizzyDwarf was actually taken down, but not all of it. The reinforcements are now coming from the base of the Terran, so the siege will continue. Meanwhile, Chanz is desperately trying to remake those banelings, because he will sure need a lot of them. Hydras are now ready as well. Are they upgraded? We have both upgrades for the Hydras already finished, so we have both the speed and the range. With the things The tanks! What the heck? The tanks are on siege and 2 of them go down. The Banings are rolling into the army. Third tank is taken down and finally the Terran has been cleaned up on this side of the map. Very nicely done there by Chanz. Look, my brain is not awake, okay? Eventually I will learn how to speak. Also I did update the locus one. Chanz is going for ultras. But funnily enough, I mean, DizzyDwarf is already going for a Ghost Academy, so those ultras will definitely have some opposition there. DizzyDwarf once again setting up a position on the edges of the base of the Zerg. The queens are under fire. This time the transfuse does save them, but for how long? As they are being chased. And the energy is out on those queens. They will start to be going down. The army is not here to defend them. The army is focusing on the siege farther back. The Marines are pretty split though, so there are not a lot of connection. But now the rest of the army floods in. The tank will be taken down soon. There is an investor here as well, and nice fungal there on the medivacs, but not enough to take down a lot of them. And now it looks like Chanz is on the offensive. Getting the Link Bay ready, going for this 4th base of the Terran. DizzyDwarf trying to take his 5th at the same time. And working really hard on getting a lot of ghosts out. Planetary will definitely help to delay this push, but it will not be able to stop it. We need the army of the Terran here, and it is coming from the back. Some of the ghosts fall victims to the Banings though. And it looks like the Terran army has been destroyed. I mean, so has been the Zerg, so both armies have suffered some big losses. And DizzyDwarf is confident enough to chase. First of all, Ultras is here. At the same time we have another attack on the west and there's a kill on the hatchery. There was no cancel there. This tank was a little bit too ambitious and it will go down, and so will a lot of these marines, so the reinforcements from the Zerg are enough to stop that. But ooh, another hatchery goes down on the bottom of the map, so this little marine squad was able to do so much as the other fight was happening. And should be able to get away too. Looks like Chanz wants to try and attack from a different angle. The planetary fortress is not quite ready yet, but it will be soon. A lot of mules on this base as well. So while this is not taking down the base completely down, it is definitely delaying it quite a bit. But we have 2 more attacks coming from the Terran. This double drop, I mean technically it's a double drop because it's 16, well it's 15 marines now. But yeah, this double drop is still threatening over here while the main army is, you know, sharking around the top side of the map. Chanz is trying his best to split the army, but it's definitely not an easy task. Chasing off creep may be a little bit too ambitious, so yeah, Chanz has to be careful about what he does with this army. Meanwhile, this double drop is still not being dealt with. But now it should be finally cleaned up. Now Chanz can fully focus on these defensive efforts, as this hatchery is now in danger with steam. This will be going down so quickly, but the Zerg army is here just in time to stop this from happening. Even getting a few medivacs on the way, they are very low, so even a few shots from the Hydra should be able to clean them up. And once again, this Terran base is in danger. That's now coming up this ramp. Vanguard gets a lot of the Marauders. And most of the Marines are now gone there, and so are the Banix. We have the basically linked Hydra army here with the help of the Infersos, and that is enough. GG is called, and Chanz will be taking game number 1. That was game number 1 going to Chanz. And we are getting ready for game number 2. So our players are getting ready. I would like to give you a quick reminder that these tournaments that you see right here are funded via Patreon. So if you want to, support these tournaments, if you want to make sure that they keep going and that they keep growing in the future, because, we hope to also make these tournaments bigger and give more prize to the players, or maybe give prize to more players essentially. So it's not very not as top heavy as it is right now. But yeah, if you want to support these tournaments, then make sure to check out the Patreon. That is how we fund the prize pool for the 3 of our tournaments, for Master Swan Open, Ducklings Open, as well as the Open tournament, Sparkling Tuna Cup. I know it sounds hilarious with the names. Yeah, make sure to check it out. Meanwhile, we are ready for game number 2. And we are now loaded into Oceanborn, where in the bottom right corner of the map we have the first of our players. It is the blue Terran player from Poland. It's DizzyDwarf, representing SCQ. And across the map we have his opponent. It is the red Zerg player from Australia. Yes, they didn't change the colors, I had to think. From Australia, representing the Jedi Knights, it is Master Chanz. Once again, starting very macro. We have not just the barracks from DizzyDwarf. We have Hatch first from Chanz. Hatch gas pool even. I assume we will be getting a Reaper expand from our Terran player. There is no Papi Tre on ice then. Although I am tempted to make it an alias just for you. So yeah, for now we will just have to see what our players decide to do, because it looks like they are definitely being very macro focused. Already a third base going down for the Zerg, which is fairly standard. Nothing out of ordinary. The Reaper is now playing with the Zerglings and actually does get one down. As we've seen in the previous game, DizzyDwarf is definitely pretty good with his Reaper control. Ooh, and will be actually able to harass this mineral line. One of the drones almost goes down, but it is just barely saved by Chanz. Not by chance, by Chanz. And yeah, once again the Reaper just barely survives and is able to regenerate and come back later. So again, DizzyDwarf really using the resource that is the Reaper. Meanwhile, back at home, once again we see 2-1-1 from the Terran. So once again we will be having those marine drops coming. This Reaper has actually done quite a lot of damage on that hatchery, funnily enough. And DizzyDwarf does pay attention. Does make sure that the Queen does not get the Reaper as he's not looking. And the Reaper will be saved for later. Meanwhile, for now, Chanz just working on his economy. Ooh, the Reaper is so close. At this time, the Reaper does go down, just barely. The Zergling did block the pathing. And the Reaper has been taken down. But regardless, the 2-1-1 is already in effect. Overlord, ooh, the barely just didn't destroy the time. Yeah, the Marines are dead, so I mean, Chanz is also aware of it now because of how many Marines there are. So the double drop will be coming soon. Bailing Nest is on the way. Once again, there are a lot of Queens. But the key point is, will they be in position for the attack coming? Medivacs are ready, and it's time to go across the map. And what do we have? We have some Zerglings, we have a lot of Queens. There is some Overlord vision in the middle of the map, so Chanz should be aware of where the drop is coming. Like DizzyDwarf taking the slow approach of cleaning the creep, going from the front. Once the Zergling shows up, he does pick up and leave. So the first wave of attack, to put it that way, has been fended off by Chanz. But again, DizzyDwarf was not very committed to this one. Mostly just poking at the Zerg. Well, I think the Zerg will be going down as they are trickling in. This is a dangerous dance there between the Medivac and the Zerglings. Dropping the Marines whenever there is a chance. Once again, this is we're going in, clearing some creep, but again not committing to any more advanced attack. Just poking at the Zerg, seeing what can be done, and moving back. This time Chanz is getting upgrades. We have +1/+1, with one of them being melee. DizzyDwarf once again doing his best to clean up all of the creep. The Lingbane is there to deflect this attack, but yeah, this is again mostly just a creep clearing force. At the same time though, we have another force on the other side. Not quite 2 full medivacs, but quite a few marines, and as the army is distracted, they will be going here and clearing more creep. So DizzyDwarf now managing 2 drops. Chanz trying to rotate the army between the 2 of them. But again, neither of these drops is very committed. It's mostly just clearing the creep, just keeping the Zerg on his toes, and yeah, making sure that the army is moving. But as this army is being dealt with, there is a drop in the natural base, but there are so many Zerglings there that it's actually not able to get much done. And it looks like the drops will be deflected for now. I mean, a lot of creep has been taken down, so definitely Chanz does not have a lot of vision in the middle of the map. But the bases themselves seem fairly secure. In the meantime, DizzyDwarf was able to get his economy up and running, getting a 3rd base, already preparing the 4th CC as well, getting more production on the way, and the reinforcement are joining in, now with Widow Mines. Once again, we have attacks from both sides. See how those Widow Mines will do for the Terran. Oh, nice shots there on the Link Bane. Getting rid of pretty much all of the Banelings. At the same time, we have a bit of a skirmish on the other side as well, but not much is happening there. The Queens are starting to fall down on the top side though. The Widow Mines have not recharged yet, so ooh, yeah, DizzyDwarf cannot really rely on them, and he loses a lot of the Marines to the Banelings. A bit of an unfortunate micro there. At the same time, he is moving right into the natural base. There are no Banelings here, just the Zerglings, and not enough of them to stop this Terran army. As they are walking into the mineral line, find those 6 drones going down before they are forced to leave, but still a nice little bit of damage there for DizzyDwarf. That said, like as much as it is a nice bit of damage, it's not colossal damage. Like Chanz still has an economy, he still has the workers. He's working on Hydras now, he is getting all the upgrades as well, so while it is definitely painful to lose those drones, to lose the control of the map, like it's not losing him the game yet, but there's another wave from the Terran. We will see, because you know, with every wave the Terran army is stronger and the Zerg army has to keep up with it as well. So we'll see if those small losses can actually snowball in favor of the Terran, or will Chanz be able to keep up with the production. Another nice Widow Mine shot, although not without friendly fire. We have a few more Widow Mines in this army. There's another army on the bottom as well, but it is being dealt with. Ooh, some of the Widow Mine shots are being tanked by the Overseers, and now Hydras are here to clean this up. All of the Widow Mines have already fired, so there is no support there. And the entire Terran army is cleaned up, and this is very concerning because DizzyDwarf was working on another base. He does have some reinforcements, but not a lot of them, and he is being attacked from both sides. CC will have to be evacuated. Again, the reinforcing army will be here to defend, but it's still quite a lot of damage on that command center. Sorry, it's just too funny every time. Yeah, the Zerg is marching forward, but there is enough of an army here to protect. There are a lot of Marauders in this army as well, so the Banelings are not as effective. Yeah, DizzyDwarf should be able to clean up this attack. At the same time, the Zerglings once again are rolling on the bottom side though, and this planetary fortress has almost gone down, but the SCVs are here in time. And with the repair, the base will be saved. It did give a bit of space for Chanz to take another base at the top side though. But it's a very risky place to be because it's exactly where DizzyDwarf is trying to move in. It's like just barely DizzyDwarf may be able to see it, but if he gets distracted he will not see this army that is surrounding this bio force, and a lot of the army is going down together with the single ghost that was with it. And this Zerg army is chasing. Chanz doesn't attack quite yet, but he's getting ready to push into this base once again. Have a lot of Link Bane. I mean, mostly Link, honestly. Not that much Bane. It looks like Chanz is mostly focusing on making the paths rather than fighting, but now the banings are being triggered and almost all of them get sniped. Even a stray Hydra as well, and the rest of the banings have to be cancelled. That was really nice move there for DizzyDwarf. A lot of the banings were lost. This one looks like we'll be able to finish morphing at least some of them. But even afterwards, a lot of them do get sniped. And ooh, the beautiful Widowmine shot on the Zerglings, but that's still not enough for this Zerg force, and DizzyDwarf is forced to move away. There was definitely quite a lot of Link Bane losses there though, before they were able to get to the army. So the Widowmines got some nice shots. This smaller Terran force is trying to once again push into this top base. There are 2 pins here and they will be going down, it looks like. As the Link Bane was busy with the rocks. Now the Links are rolling in. But with the Widowmines and the reinforcement, it looks like there's enough bio army to stand against the Zerg. The drones have to be evacuated, but a lot of them will be going down regardless. And so is the hatchery itself. Chanz trying to amass a new army. There are banelings there, there are infestors as well. So a couple of good fungas. Fungal? No, it's like a fungal. Look, English is hard. The infestors have an ability, and they will use it. You're welcome. We have a second force from the Terran on the bottom side of the map as well, and there is a fresh new hatchery there, still morphing. Oh, I don't know if DizzyDwarf actually spotted it. Or maybe he decided that there are more important targets there and he goes straight forward, catching a few drones on the way. The entire Zerg army is being switched into this position, which means the top side is now wide open for an attack. And DizzyDwarf will be moving in. Chanz is starting to lose bases. It's a very dangerous position for the Zerg. A lot of the drones are going down as well. And that is enough of damage done. GG is called. DizzyDwarf will be tying this series 1-1. So nicely done there by DizzyDwarf. We have a tie in this best of 3 series. DizzyDwarf really showcased one of the best things about the Terran, I guess, because I like to think, but like I think Terran is the most known for this multi-pronged style of play, where like you have a drop here, a drop there, and like, you know, you're trying your best to pull your opponent apart, while sending waves and waves of reinforcements to both sides. And yeah, and DizzyDwarf was really able to eventually just stretch DizzyDwarf a bit, I mean himself, to stretch Chanz a bit too thin, and yeah, was able to take the game. Oh, I just noticed that DizzyDwarf's banner on the loading screen is actually a Reaper, which is very fitting considering his playstyle. Something he has definitely showcased in the last 2 games. And speaking of, we have our Blue Terran player from Poland representing SCQ. It's DizzyDwarf. And the bottom left corner of Alcyone, Alkion, Al Capone, Alozar, Alligator, a lot of things starting with Al. We have the Red Zerg player representing the Jedi Knights, and Australia, it is Master Chanz. Once again going for Hatch first. Meanwhile, this dwarf changing up quite a bit, going for straight up 2 racks in the wall. So, you know, we thought the 2-on-1 was a bit aggressive. Well, let's get even more aggressive. DizzyDwarf definitely not letting go on the offensive. And we'll see if Master Chanz can deal with it this time. Because once again, we are tied up in the series. Now, DizzyDwarf was looking really good in the previous game. We also know that his Reaper control is generally pretty good. So, for him to go into 2 racks Reaper and maybe even 3 racks Reaper, as we have a 3rd racks in the main base, that can be definitely very scary for the Zerg. Fortunately for Chanz, he does see the 2 racks in the entrance to the natural, so he does know that this is coming. But will he be able to stop it? Because, you know, knowing is only half of the battle. First round does go down. DizzyDwarf definitely very brave with this Reaper this time. Once again, it just barely survives, just enough to regenerate for later. But now with 2 Reapers, even the Queen has to be a little bit worried. The first creep tumor does go down as well, I believe. The second Queen is forced to be pulled from the main base, and they're actually going out of creep. The 3 Reapers, like, one of the Queens will be focused, but one of the Reaper goes down. DizzyDwarf got a little bit too adventurous. He was really trying to get that Queen as it is very low. But 3 Reapers are not quite enough, not with this health. That said, those are all the Reapers that DizzyDwarf is making. He is switching to Marines from then on. That Queen is being focused on, and eventually it does go down. But so do the Reapers, so I'm not sure how worth it the trade was, as another Queen has already popped up. And in the meantime, yeah, DizzyDwarf has switched into Marine production. That Overlord is able to see what is going on, more or less, even though it is protected. It is in custody of those Marines. Oh, hello, we have a song. Hello. It looks like Chanz will respond to aggression with his own aggression, and Linkbane is going forward. The Banelings are ready for the bust. The link speed, of course, is, the Baneling speed, of course, is not even on the way yet, as Baneling has only just finished. So this will be just straight up Baneling bust. The Marines are here to fight the Banelings. Is it enough to focus the fire? I mean, some of the wall is open. The Banelings didn't even have to connect because the depot was down and will be going down regardless. CVs try to plug the wall, but they're not able to. The Ducklings run in, and just like that, Chanz takes game number 3 and the series. So actually, it was not worth it there for DizzyDwarf to go all of this for all of this aggression, because Chanz just responded with aggression of his own. Very nicely done there. Very nicely done there for Chanz though. Like, he just responded to aggression with aggression of his own, and that just worked with him, worked for him perfectly. So GG's. Chanz will be going into the next round with the 2-1 score, going to the upper bracket finals. Meanwhile, don't worry, because DizzyDwarf is not out yet. DizzyDwarf will be going to the lower bracket. And while we're talking, let's look at what's been happening in that bracket, because we have quite a few updates. So firstly, we have our series of Chanz 2-1 versus DizzyDwarf. At the same time, Llama, or I Like Trains, has taken down Beast 2-1 and is currently playing versus SamirDuran in round number 2. Meanwhile, we also have our bottom bracket, as today we do have as we do have a double elimination today, and it looks like Captain Fish was able to take down Bulochkin 1-0. Of course, our lower bracket is best of ones until the finals. So Captain Fish is currently waiting on the opponent, and Beast was able to take down Dave Litos 1-0 as well, and will now be playing versus DizzyDwarf. So yeah, looks like we are currently waiting for the conclusions of this series. So we will be going on a short break. In the meantime, make sure to get some snacks ready, and also maybe consider checking out Macherino if you have some spare change and would like to support the players playing today in this tournament. And check out the Macherino, because that's how we pay out these prize pools, and with Macherino you can support a specific single tournament, like for example today's tournament. So if you like the players, if you like what you're seeing in the games, if you think they are enjoyable, then maybe consider throwing, $1 or $2 to the prize pool of today's tournament, and that will all go to the players. Macherino is paid entirely to the players. So with that, we will be going on a short break, and once we're back, we will have another series for you. See you then. welcome to the upper bracket finals of Master Swan Open number 86. If you are in the chat, make sure to check out the predictions on Twitch because they have already started and they will be closing soon. So here's your chance to predict for this best of 3 series. Where in the bottom right corner of Oceanborn we have the first of our players. It is none other than representing Platinum Heroes, SamirDuran. And across the map it is his opponent, it is the red Zerg player from Australia, representing Jedi Knights. It is Master Chanz. So we've been following Chanz all day. So nice little gas trick over there. But SamirDuran is definitely someone very well known to our tournaments by now, as for the past few months he's been playing in a lot of these amateur events and he's been placing very well, even winning some of them. So, you know, definitely very interesting player to follow. Also, how do I put it? He has a certain style of playing. I'm not sure if it will be as visible in ZVZ, but he's definitely very keen of having a lot of hatcheries, if you know what I mean. Basically, his go-to build for a while has been pull first into just double hatchery, just, you know, straight up into 3 bases. So quite greedy play there from our Zerg player. But we will see how he does in ZVZ, because ZVZ of course is a very different beast. I'm pretty sure he has done it in ZVZ as well, but it's obviously not as... I mean, I want to say not as successful. I mean, it depends, because in either matchup it can be not so successful. It's like it's all about how much freedom your opponent gives you, right? If your opponent doesn't attack early on, then like those greedy builds can really pay off. That's why a lot of times it's actually worth it to go hatch first in ZVZ, if you can get away with it. But it is a bit of a gamble. It looks like though we will not be going for anything macro this time, as SamirDuran is already massing up links. He's keeping all of them in the main base though, to make sure that Chanz cannot see them. So Chanz was able to see some Zerglings, but like they don't look anything out of ordinary. He saw the base, so you know, Chanz thinks that like it looks pretty much alright. Like there is a base, there is a queen. He didn't see the saturation on the base though, and now he sees there's more links coming and they have speed already as well, so maybe he can suspect something, but yeah, doesn't know quite how many links are coming, because there is a lot. The wall is now being set up by Chanz. It is solid, but the queen is in it and it will be going down. The first of these buildings is pretty low as well, so secondary well is being set up. The Zerglings are trying to get in, that queen is stopping them from doing so. Another building will be plopped down. The Roach Warren will finish, but it will be going down soon, and another one of the Evos as well. The Zerglings are slowly trying to get in. The Broodings will definitely help with this defense. There's a Spine Crawler for Chanz as well, but both of the queens are down now. The Zerglings do not have speed for Chanz. SamirDuran does have speed already. And eventually he will be able to get through this wall and to this Spine Crawler as well. The queen is trying to help, but there is no transfuse ready. There is no energy. The Zerglings, once again, there are Zergling reinforcements, but those are slow links. And it doesn't look like SamirDuran wants to slow down. Still keeping that Z button pressed. Still making more Zerglings. The drones are trying to fight together with the Zerglings for Chanz. And there is just enough to keep this at bay. But definitely not ideal opening for Chanz there. Speed is, by the way, still not being researched, as Chanz is focusing on the defense and can't really spare the time for the upgrades, and that is enough. GG is called. SamirDuran will be taking game number 1 in a very aggressive manner. So again, I've been talking a lot about how, oh yeah, SamirDuran, he's like so greedy, he goes for the hatcheries. Well, not always. It's kind of the thing, like, we have seen him do this before, not specifically this build, but we have seen him play, like, pretty much entire tournament was just straight up, you know, 3 hatcheries, solid macro, and so on. And then suddenly one game he would just like 12 full drone pool. And you know, if you just get used to the fact that he plays greedy, then you just don't expect it happening all of a sudden. So it's definitely nice to just, you know, like, just somewhere put it in somewhere in the series, just once, you know, just once in a few series, so nobody expect that happening. And it did catch Chanz a bit of guard. SamirDuran also made sure to hide the Zerglings until the last moment, so yeah, very nicely done there. I do wonder if that's somewhat related to a bit of a banter that the players had before the series, because I mean, I'm not sure if I can really call it banter, because SamirDuran was complimenting Master Chanz on defeating DizzyDwarf, because SamirDuran does think that DizzyDwarf is a very strong opponent. So yeah, SamirDuran did say that after Chanz defeated DizzyDwarf, he's a bit afraid of him, because clearly he must be even stronger. So maybe that is related, maybe because of that perceived skill difference. Maybe SamirDuran wanted to go for something more aggressive. So whenever I start to stutter in my words, I am probably reading the chat, as in the in-game chat. You can probably tell by now, huh? Like, I'm speaking and like mid-sentence my words just start to get confused because I'm trying to read what map I'm making. Zergrash, I mean, yeah, that was definitely a Zergrash. Can't argue with that. A good old Zergrash. As we have now loaded into our favorite map. And by that I mean Alcyone, 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 Alcyon, Alcyon. I probably missed a few other versions. But it's one of those. One of those must be correct, right? Well, anyway, we are looking at the first of our players. It is representing Platinum Heroes, the Purple Zerg. Currently up 1-0. One what? 1-0. It is SamirDuran. And across the map we have the Red Zerg player representing the Jedi Knights. It is Master Chanz. Going for a hatch first. And so is actually, yeah, so is the opponent. Both our players going for a hatch first. I mean, Alcyone definitely has the space to do so. So looks like we will be going for a bit more macro of a game. We have slightly different orders from both of our players. SamirDuran getting his extractor a bit earlier than Chanz does, which definitely will mean faster speed. DizzyDwarf said, I'm strong till I have to play on a server on the other side of the globe. Well, Chanz has to do that a lot. That's also another thing, like, Australians have been really hard with the servers because Yeah, there's really not a lot of good servers for them, huh? And not many people want to play on theirs. So yeah, it's definitely rough for both sides. But, you know, we always try to pick the most even server between the players. That's kind of the thing, the way it works, we try to make sure that both players have as most even conditions as it's possible. So, yeah. Definitely that does take a bit of getting used to if you are used to playing on a different server. But we also had people who had essentially worked on doing the otherwise, where like we had people like Christiane intentionally playing all the matches on US West if they were versus an opponent who would prefer US West. And even though Christiane could have played on Central, he still picked US West because he wanted to get used to the ping, because he wanted to, you know, because for example I think in WTL he also had to play on US West, so he just wanted to practice. So yeah, that is also a thing. By the way, the opposite is also true, where like if somebody is used to playing on high ping and then suddenly they play on low ping, it just nothing just feels right, you know? Of course it's slightly different, like it's a different kind of problem, to put it that way, but like in both directions it does take a little bit to get used to. Anyway, it looks like we will be having roach warrants from both sides, but with a difference. That Master Chanz is going for a Nidus behind this. Both our players are walled in though, so I'm not exactly sure what is the plan of SamirDuran here. As the first Nidus worm is going down in the main base of SamirDuran, it is outside of his vision, so it doesn't look like he will be able to stop it. And I mean, I guess that's good that he didn't get out of base, because he will have the forces right here ready. But is it enough forces? Because a lot of things are unloading from this Nidus. The drones are being pulled off the line to stop this. The queens are helping as well. I mean, SamirDuran has his own roaches and the queens are going down now. The drones are surrounding this entire army of the red Zerg. And I mean, I think it looks like SamirDuran should be able to stop this, but 14 drones have fallen down at the same time. So even though it has been, like, even though it was eventually cleaned up, like, those were still a lot of losses. Like, that's essentially an entire mineral line for SamirDuran going down. So, arguably worth it for Chanz there. The thing is though that SamirDuran now has a standing army, and I'm not sure if Chanz has his. I mean, he has few roaches there. He has saved some, so a counter-attack should not be... Yeah, it doesn't look like the counter-attack should be too much of a problem, although let's check on the upgrade. Yes, SamirDuran has both the +1 range and speed. Chanz is working on +1 range of his own, but he does not have roach speed there. So that is definitely a factor in this fight. But yeah, SamirDuran sees the numbers and decides that maybe it's not the best idea. Oh, Chanz going for a burrow. Oh, that's interesting. Burrow roaches, definitely a thing, but they're not used all that common nowadays. So we'll see how this goes. At the same time, it looks like Chanz has discovered the third base of SamirDuran. It is now being under the watchful eye of the Red Zerg. No, like overseer, his eye. It's a watchful eye. Can you tell I'm tired? Meanwhile, Chanz also is getting a third base of his own. This changeling from SamirDuran is confirming this, so both players are aware of what is going on across the map. Lagging was floating. It's always funny when that happens. Lagging, you're stuck. You're stuck! You have to go around. There you go. Good job. You made it. Yeah, SamirDuran does very well with these scouting changelings. Was able to see the entire base of Chanz. And now has all the information about what is happening on the opposite side of the map. At the same time, there are some ravages being prepared. And it looks like SamirDuran is about to be ready for the offensive. Meanwhile, Chanz is working on burrow movement, so that may be a bit of a surprise for SamirDuran. But we have to keep in mind that SamirDuran does have a lot of overseers, so... I mean, actually, does he have them? He has one right now. What I'm saying more, I guess, is that he is using them, but actually with only one, there is a chance, no pun intended, that there won't be any when they're needed. But it looks like this overseer is going together with the army, so that should be just fine. We have the roaches flashing. The upgrades are in favor of SamirDuran as he has +1 range right now. Some of the buys are connecting, but not a lot of them on SamirDuran's side, and it looks like this entire roach army of Chanz is being destroyed. GG is called. SamirDuran will be taking this series 2-0. So very nicely done there by SamirDuran. You know, he defended from that Nidus very early on and didn't go for a counter attack straight up. He has waited. He has made up his army. He made sure he has the upgrades. He has the advantage, and he even scouted the opponent to make sure that he knows exactly what is going on. And once he was sure that his army is strong enough, he just went for it. And yeah, that was really nicely played there for SamirDuran. So good job, congrats, and yeah, we will see him in the finals. So it looks like with that we will be going on a quick little break as we are waiting for the result of Llama versus DizzyDwarf. And after that we will be going for the lower bracket finals between Chanz and the winner of that series. See you then. welcome! Welcome to the lower bracket finals of Master Swan Open number 86, where we are currently on Amphion, and we are looking at the red Zerg player representing Jedi Knights in Australia. It is Master Chanz. But the bottom side of the map we have the blue Terran player from Poland, representing SCQ, which as far as we know doesn't stand for anything specific. It is DizzyDwarf. I did ask DizzyDwarf if it was like an abbreviation of something, and he said no. He said probably not. So if chat has any good ideas, then you know, as always. Excuse me. By the way, I do have to point that out, but I just looked over at the activity feed, and we got followed by a user called Bruce Lennox. Good one, good one. Look, I appreciate a good pun, okay? For those who may not be following StarCraft for a long time, Lennox was a Zerg player. A very cheerful Zerg player, let's call it that. Like, he was one of the people who were always like joking and stuff, you know. Always a very like on camera person, to put it like that, I guess. It doesn't help that if I remember correctly, he was also born on April Fools, which already says a lot. By complete accident. So there you go. Anyway, looks like DizzyDwarf will be starting with the Reaper expand. Nothing too aggressive this time, as we have seen him go into 2 and even triple racks. Once again, DizzyDwarf is definitely quite good with his Reaper control, and was able to get one of the Zerglings. The Reaper, of course, does stay alive and will be used later. So Chanz is making sure that there are enough queens here to protect the bases from all the dives. In the meantime, DizzyDwarf continues with the schedule, about to switch the add-ons for the buildings. You're going for a 1-1-1. Queens actually went to chase the Reaper, but it's probably not ideal for Chanz. Chanz actually forced to make more Zerglings, as it looks like he is a bit concerned about the Reaper doing too much damage. It looks like the Reaper is going all the way back home. I guess we'll be once again back with the main attack whenever that happens. For now, it looks like DizzyDwarf is going for Hellions, something that we haven't seen him do yet today. And I assume the Reaper will be coming back with those Hellions as soon as they are ready. Meanwhile, the third base for Chanz is on the way. We have quite a few queens already, but there's no kind of like wall, SimCity or anything that would stop the Hellions from coming in. So there may be quite a lot of damage done there. Overlord gets a good scout of the base of the Terran. And the queens are now stopping the Hellions. Ooh, that was an interesting bounce there as the queen goes right forward into the Hellions. The Reaper will be going down, but so will the queen. That was very interesting. Special CranKy. Good one, good one. Okay, Soundo has the first idea for the SCQ. Oh, yes, is SCQ like a StarCraft quest? like a quest. You get a quest to ladder. Ah. Meanwhile, Fusion Core. That is also something we haven't seen yet today. It looks like DizzyDwarf, you know, DizzyDwarf is also not very happy about having to face Chanz once again, and Chanz was also not very happy about having to face DizzyDwarf again, as both of them are very good players. And it looks like DizzyDwarf is going for PCs. He's bringing the big guns. The Hellions are actually getting... I mean, they got one queen, but they are getting quite damaged. I was expecting the Hellions to dive in a bit more. Like now, of course, there's a little bit more of a SimCity. There's more spots to trap those Hellions in, but before then it looked like there were some good openings, but DizzyDwarf was not able to quite utilize them. But as we know, he is working on something completely else, so... And the first PC is now on the way. And it will pass by an overseer, so I mean, Chanz is now fully aware that this is coming. The question is, does Chanz have defense for it? I mean, there is one queen and spore, another spore on the edge, but that's not quite enough to stop a BC, is it? Yeah, the queen just gets blasted off straight up. Second one is coming up, and all of the rest of them too, but that will mean that there is no defense from the Hellions at the same time. Oh, as we are losing one of the players, I'm afraid. Who is it? No, Dizzy! No! Okay. Looks like we may have to recover this game. Yes. DizzyDwarf has mentioned it before that like the US West server does not like him one bit. We even compared pings because both me and DizzyDwarf are in Poland, but like we have completely different ping to US West, so yeah, it may be just something on the side of DizzyDwarf's connection. The routing is just not ideal for his specific place. And yeah, it looks like we may be having to recover this game. Light shooting go on quest. It took them like 4 years to get through, but no, Saudo, it got us 4 years to go to the first expansion. You don't understand. We're still like 3 expansions behind. It's fine. Don't worry about it. Yeah, it looks like DizzyDwarf is still not back. It looks like he might have disconnected from the server, so we'll give him some time to sort out any technical issues, and as soon as we have the series ready to go, we will be back. See you soon. So, welcome back. We are currently recovering the game of our lower bracket semifinals, or lower bracket finals, my bad. Master Swan Open number 86. As you can see, neither me nor the players can see what's happening, as that's how the game recovery works. And as soon as we load it in, I will ask players if they are ready, and we will restart the game, or resume the game, I guess, should be the correct phrasing. As we could see, this time, DizzyDwarf did just teleport out. I mean, it was... I feel like he would probably have anyway, because exactly at this point, that was when the game suddenly disconnected for him, so... You know, I don't think there was much difference there, really. Interestingly enough, looks like Chanz is making some, like, a bit of a SimCity, a bit of a wall of evolution chambers to make sure that these Hellions do not get into the bases uninvited. Meanwhile, it looks like another one of the BCs, or is it the same one? No, it is the same BC. It has already traveled across the map and is now poking at the right side of the map, at the same time distracting the queens, and the Hellions are now able to get in, and they are roasting quite a few drones. 11 drones are going down, so very nicely done there, but so do all the Hellions, so yeah, I'm not sure if that was the ideal solution there for DizzyDwarf, but still nice damage done, and more drones will be falling to this BC. Queen as well, Yamato down, so you know, nice little bit of damage there for DizzyDwarf. Definitely worth it so far, and of course he keeps the BC alive. All these queens are making sure that the drones are working properly. Yes, that one drone specifically. It's being so cared for. The BC is still chilling, the queens can kinda see it. They're like, just come a little closer. Just a little closer. But no, the BC is safe from the queens. And we have force on the way. Oh, we're going full mech on the side of DizzyDwarf. There will be no bios in this time. And surprisingly enough, I mean, it will be quite useful for him. I'm not sure if he was able, actually, we can check. Was he able to scout this spire? He did not, so I guess after the BC maybe he kinda assumed the spire may be coming up. So there will be force there in case Chanz gets any ideas. And Corruptors are indeed on the way. Quite a few of them are, actually. We have 9 Corruptors when there's only 1 BC. Of course, Chanz doesn't know that. Chanz doesn't know how many BCs may be coming. He doesn't know if it's the same BC or maybe a different one, so definitely makes sense that he will be quite a bit cautious about the defense. But holy, look at this mech army just pouring out of the base of the Terran. Oh boy. Yes, I am traumatized by the Terrans. And what do we have to fight it? We have Ling Bane-ish Ravager about to face this entire Terran mech army. We'll see how it goes. I mean, Zerglings will slip by, so they will be able to just... Yeah, they even trapped a few of these tanks and maybe trapping these cores as well, so that's actually a really nice catch there for Chanz. Not sure about the Ravagers though. The Ducklings have run out and now their Avengers are alone, and without any support they actually are not able to do much versus this Terran army. Even the blue flame Hellbats are quite dangerous to them. At the same time, the Hellions and more Hellbats are already in the base of Chanz. And yeah, the mech army is just raining fire on the Zerg. The Corruptors are now here, but there's only this single BC still, and it even teleports away, so the Corruptors are absolutely useless in this fight, unfortunately. The drones are being roasted, 19 of them, 21 going down, and this base is entirely forfeit. Now, what is Chanz's plan? Chanz is still trying to master up the defense. Still has some Ravagers, he still has those Corruptors, but again, like, they're only there for the BC, really. What can he do? I mean, he expands on the back, which will give him some safety, because the mech army will not be able to get there for quite a while. Like, before this army rotates anywhere, it takes quite a lot of time. I guess DizzyDwarf is also waiting for the upgrade, as they are, you know, about halfway done. He doesn't really have to hurry, as he has a very strong siege position in front of the Zerg base. Ooh, and it looks like SCVs have found the base of Chanz. I guess DizzyDwarf is getting rid of the workers to increase the supply of this mech army. Another Roach Ravager force is trying to face it, and we'll see how it does. I mean, some of the guys know they don't even connect with the Thors. The BC takes damage from the Corruptors, but that's about all that they can do. And now they are under fire as well. Honestly, Chanz should probably send those Corruptors to do some building damage instead, but yeah, he sees that this is too much. GG is called. DizzyDwarf will be taking game number 1. Oh, I pressed the button. Oh no. Panic? Help! StarCraft has completely okay, no. I think we're live, maybe? StarCraft? Okay, there you go. We're alive. We're living. So now we're waiting on the second map of our series. As a reminder, this is a best of 3. And we have downloaded to map number 1 of this best of 3 series. And we are on site Delta. And in the bottom right corner of side delta we have our red Zerg player representing the Jedi Knights and Australia. It is Master Chanz. And across the map we have the blue Terran player from Poland representing SCQ. It is DizzyDwarf. Of these players, no, pretty good players, pretty intense players as well. We've seen quite a lot of nice plays from them, but let's see which one of them will be able to make it to the finals. As a reminder, in the finals we have SamirDuran waiting for either of these. Ahead of them, I guess. Yeah, we will see who will face SamirDuran in the finals. For now, DizzyDwarf is up 1-0. But their Chanz still has a chance to make a comeback. Also, as a reminder, for those who may not know, we also have a random participant raffle in this tournament, so right after this series is over, we will be rolling that random raffle. And one of the participants of today's tournament, and I believe everybody actually played their games, because we do have a rule that you have to play at least one full series. You cannot just, you know, sign up and forfeit. But everybody who has played will be eligible for that random 5 USD raffle. It can be one of the players we are seeing right now, it can be someone else. We will see, we will find out. The repair of DizzyDwarf is of course, once again in the natural, already taking down a Zergling. It looks like it may take another, yeah, 2 Zerglings down. Just a nice little victory there. Of course, this is no like game-ending damage, but it is. I would say like this early micro is a bit of a test of strength between the players. We see that a lot in pro matches as well. In the meantime, it looks like once again DizzyDwarf is going for a 2-1-1. The Marines are already in production, so the drops will be coming soon enough. Chanz has not scouted it yet, so Chanz is in the dark for the time being. That Reaper is definitely annoying, as you know, it's not even about the damage, because I will say that Reaper has done a lot of damage to the hatchery, but you know, obviously it cannot kill it in any like reasonable time, but just the fact that the alerts keep going off is definitely very distracting. Oh, it looks like the Overlord was sniped as soon as it approached the base. I am not sure if Chanz was able to see how many Marines there were, but I would assume he would. The Reaper of course did go down to Queens eventually. Bending test is on the way. That's very important for Master Chanz right now, as he will need those banelings to defend from all of these Marines. The Medivacs are already on the way, so the attack will be coming soon. We had synchronized triple inject on the hatchery. It's always interesting to see. And the double medivac drop is now moving out of the base. We have a lot of Zerglings on the way from Chanz. The banelings are not being morphed yet. I mean, the lair is about to finish and speedless banelings will not be able to help too much. So for now, Chanz will try to hold this with the Zerglings and the Queens, and there's quite a few of them. Ducklings are surrounding the Marine army and taking down a few of them already, which is definitely nice. The overall does get under fire though, but it does not supply block Chanz, so that's nice. Bit of creep cleaning. DizzyDwarf checks that this third base has not been taken. This triangle base, Chanz opted for the line expansion, for the vertical one instead. Ooh, the queens are in a bit of danger, but the Zerglings are here to help out. One of the queens will be going down, but so will a few marines. Landing speed is about halfway done. Chanz also expanding to a fourth, also in the top location, so entirely hugging that side of the map. The marines are already quite damaged from the steams and whatnot. But of course they still have the medivacs for support. But the medivacs are running out of energy, so there's only so much healing they can do. Bannings are now going from behind. The banning speed is about to be finished, just 4 more seconds. But it looks like the bannings won't be there in time, and just as the medivacs leave, that's when the banning speed pops. At the same time we have another marine force coming from the bottom of the map. Oh, Chanz may be getting caught off guard by this. The entire force of the Zerg is on the front, but this attack is going for the main base. It is on creep, so it is visible, so Chanz will have to decide how to split the forces, because this force is still dangerous, still has to dance with the Link Bane, but the main is now in danger, and that's where the lair is. There are some reinforcing Zerglings here to help, but that's not quite enough to stop this marine force. The queens are now back as well, and they will try to fight this. One of them going down. Zerglings are trying to help, but not quite able to do so. The queens will eventually chase it off, and actually they take down the full medivac. The other medivac is empty. So Chanz is able to defend from this drop. And yeah, this is no longer a threat. This medivac is completely empty and can only, you know, threaten the Zerg by the visual alone. No, more of a psychological thing than anything. There's also Spire on the way for Chanz. Yes, will definitely help with dealing with these drops. But another attack is coming, but this is where the Link Bane is. A nice Widow Mine shot though, and a second one as well. And with that, the Link Bane is decimated now. The rest of the Banings do get sniped by DizzyDwarf. Really nice control there. Yeah, only now the Bannings start to connect with the army, but so far most of the Bannings have been either sniped or killed by the Widow Mine. So very nicely done, very good control from our Terran player. Now steaming straight into this base, so takes a Banning to the face, which is not ideal. More Bannings are already ready as well. Corruptors are now out, and they will help with these medivacs. Will definitely well, pulled away that shot, but it still landed on a lot of Zerglings. Those Corruptors will help with the medivacs, so DizzyDwarf won't be able to be as drop heavy as he was before. He won't be able to just pack up and leave every time he wants. But this is still a very formidable army. There are a lot of Widow Mines there. There are a few Marauders as well to tank the Banning shots, I guess. And this Linkway force is not that big actually. Chanz is currently working on a lot of upgrades, and he doesn't really have standing army. Yeah, those Widowmine shots pretty much deal with the entire army that was here. The Corruptors are now flying in and they will take down the Medivacs. But not before everything on the ground is gone and that even the few Medivacs survive this attack. The Banings are being sniped very nicely there. More Banings are rolling in, but GG is called. DizzyDwarf will be taking this series 2-0 and going to the Grand Finals. So GG. Very nicely done. And with that we have our finalists. Let's quickly update the score on the bracket. And if we now take a look at the bracket, we have our two finalists. It looks like we will be playing our grand finals on EU server as we have SamirDuran versus DizzyDwarf in a best of 5. So with that, we'll get our grand final ready. As a reminder, both of our grand finalists will be getting monetary prize, so if you want to support them, make sure to check out that Matcherino, because that's how we support a specific edition of the tournament, as opposed to Patreon, which is more about the tournament as a whole. So yeah, if you want to support these players, if you want to cheer for them with your money a little bit, to put it that way, then check out the Matcherino. It is available there. Meanwhile, we'll get these grand finals ready, and right after this break, we will be rolling the random raffle as well. So stay tuned. And welcome to Master Swan number 86. We are now ready for the grand finals of this monthly 4.7k MMR and below tournament. But before we get there, we have something very special to do first. It is, of course, the random participant raffle. A completely random member, a completely random player from today's bracket will be just $5 USD dollars. USD dollars makes no sense. But it will be $5 richer today, and again, it's completely random. It can be someone from the first round, it can be one of the finalists. But regardless, let's roll. without further ado, let me randomize. And today, the winner of Random Participant Raffle is none other than SamirDuran. So this time it is one of our finalists. So regardless if he wins or loses these finals, he will be $5 richer. There you go. Sometimes it happens. Sometimes it is the finalist. Sometimes it is someone from the first round. It is completely random once again. So yeah, congratulations to SamirDuran. I just let them know. So yeah, SamirDuran is $5 richer now. So without further ado, was there anything that I was supposed to do before this? Because I think I forgot predictions, for example, last time. So let's make sure that doesn't happen. As a reminder, this is a best of 5 with 1 point advantage. I know how to spell advantage now. To SamirDuran. So now that we have everything clear, again, as I said, it is a best of 5, but because it is a double elimination bracket, SamirDuran does start with 1 point on the board as a bit of an advantage for winning those series. And with that said and done, I think we should be ready. Okay, nobody move. I cannot alt tab because, fun fact, if you alt tab right as the game is going into the map, that's how you crash your game. Do not do that. You never alt tab at that moment. After that you can, but never alt tab at that specific moment because it just does not end well. Anyway, we are now loaded to Dynasty. Of all the maps, we are starting these grand finals on Dynasty. And before I forget, let's launch those predictions, shall we? So, if they are about to be over in your chat, because as a reminder, the stream is on 2-minute delay for this tournament specifically. So make sure to get your bets on for the best of 5. Anyway, we have the first of our players in the bottom left corner of the map. It is the purple Zerg player from Platinum Heroes. Already up 1-0 in this series thanks to the upper bracket victory. It is SamirDuran. And across the map we have his opponent. It is the red Terran player from Poland representing SCQ. It is Vert, also known as DizzyDwarf. Now we have these European finals over here, and we will see how it goes. I mean, I will say that DizzyDwarf was very happy about playing on this server, of course, because, you know, he has been having some issues with ping, like, as we found out, that may be, like, specific to his connection because of the place he's in. That just happens, you know, routing happens. But regardless, he's definitely very happy to be playing this series versus... Okay, that was funny. I was about to, like, fix the name of DizzyDwarf. And as I opened my source, it turned out the last player I had to put a name on was also DizzyDwarf. So I didn't have to type anything. There you go. Oh, interesting. DizzyDwarf is going for a command center on high ground. Doesn't quite trust SamirDuran enough to just straight up expand. Which, I mean, is fair. Also, don't alt tab while switching servers. I don't think I've had that issue. I couldn't tell, but I don't think I had that. trying to remember. I don't know if I ever did that. I might have just never done that. But yeah, fun fact, something I have found out about the whole like don't alt tab on load screen thing. When you load it into a game, you know how the tips pop up where it says like a random tip. When that window with the tip pops up, that's when you can alt tab. That's when the game has loaded, essentially. Like the game has loaded whatever it is that breaks it. So basically, if you don't see the tip on the screen, do not alt tab. But once the tip appears there, like it's safe. That's usually safe. I'm not sure if that works on every computer because I've heard that some people still have issues then, but at least from my experience, once the tip is on the screen, it's safe to alt tab. Also, same thing, do not alt tab when the countdown is like at 2. Because if the countdown gets at 0 and you are alt tabbing, that's gonna 100% crash. Oh, as does crash this Reaper. This time was not able to actually get much done. Of course, did get some information, but yeah, usually DizzyDwarf is able to save it for a bit longer, but not this time. So we have Banningness on the way from Samir. And that's something that will definitely be needed because once again, DizzyDwarf is starting with the 2-on-1. And he is expanding to that gold base. But yeah, that's definitely good news for SamirDuran that he's already working on banning speed. So by the time this drop comes, he should have bannings ready and, you know, functional, because without speed bannings are not very good versus Terran. That said though, we know that SamirDuran does not like making units until he says so. So he doesn't have a lot of Zerglings in the first place. So I am getting a little bit concerned that the Zerglings may not be able to pop up in time because the Medivacs are already finished. And it will take a while before the whole Linkbane force is made. In the meantime, SamirDuran is expanding to that gold as well. Going up to 4 bases. But does he have enough to defend those 4 bases? Because the Medivacs are halfway across the map, the Zerglings are following them, so SamirDuran is aware of this happening. Fortunately for him though, DizzyDwarf is careful. He is unloading on the front and just clean creep for now. Zerglings have been finished, but there are no bannings yet. And actually, SamirDuran is able to chip off quite a few of these marines with the Zerglings alone, which is definitely nice, although he has lost the Zerglings for it. But with his economy, it is as it is now. He will be able to make quite a lot of army quite quickly. So the critical point has passed for SamirDuran, like he was able to survive until he is able to make army. So now it's like this Terran attack is not that scary anymore. Of course it still has to be respected, like still SamirDuran has to make sure he pays attention as to where it's coming and, like, you know, make sure that his army is in position, but it's not as scary as it was just a moment ago. So there's a nice little hut. It's like a shrine. Kuro definitely not distracted by the map. And nice snipe on there on the banning. But as I said, like this, DizzyDwarf is essentially just poking with this small force, and I don't think he's really hoping to get any actual damage. It's more to keep SamirDuran on his toes. Make sure that he's not too comfortable here. Meanwhile, what is DizzyDwarf working on? He has an entire army prepared. It's mostly marines with a few tanks to support, so marine tank it is all the way. Doesn't look like he wants to be too offensive yet. I mean, he is setting up more of a defensive force for the time being. Sieging up, getting the positions ready, although there is another double drop coming across the map, and it's actually killing off some overlords, which is painful to SamirDuran. It is enough to get him supply blocked. Ah, they're walking over the Swan. So yeah, we have quite a few smaller skirmishes around the map. Meanwhile, it looks like SamirDuran is already racing up to the high. So my guess is that SamirDuran is thinking about the big Zerglings. And by big Zerglings I of course mean Ultras. And I feel like that may be what we will be seeing up next, but we'll see if we get there, because we have this biotank army coming up. It's marine tank army essentially. I don't see any marauders here, although there are a few on the way. Some of the marines do get trapped as they were trying to attack this hatchery, so they will be dealt with. But still, DizzyDwarf is keeping this siege position here with 4 tanks on the back. It's very hard to approach for the Zerg. And now this hatchery is actually in danger. It is forced to be cancelled. Of course, SamirDuran has other hatcheries on the bottom side of the map, so it's not a huge loss in that regard, but it's still bothersome. So there's another force now coming from the bottom side of the map, and this one has marauders in it. The tank did come back though, so this is purely a bioforce and it's steaming straight forward. The Zerglings will try to help out, but the hatchery is forced to be cancelled. A lot of banelings to go down, and not a lot of them actually take down the marines. It looks like as a lot of the marines have been evacuated. At the same time though, some of the Link Bane is chasing straight into the natural base of DizzyDwarf. Won't be able to do too much down there, but will be able to deal with some of the reinforcements. One tank being on the wrong side of the wall, and it will get surrounded by Zerglings, but it's saved by the medivac. It will be very dramatic very soon. We have the first Ultras, they don't have Chiton's plating yet. Lions are dancing with the Zerg. Some of them do go down to banelings. The Ultras get to the tanks, and they are being transfused by the Queens, so despite lacking the armor upgrade, they're still quite hefty. The SimCity made by the tanks though is quite strong, as the Ultras struggle to get to the Marines. And once they do, they are being steamed down. Now it's just the Queens in this army. It's just an army of Queens as the last Ultra falls. They have some reinforcements prepared. They need to get to the front lines. They're actually stuck behind all of these Queens. You can do it, Ultras. You can make it through. Small Zerglings and the big Zerglings are now on the offensive. They are chasing this Terran army. Of course, DizzyDwarf does have reinforcements back at home, but this attack has been thwarted. SamirDuran getting a Spire next. Meanwhile, DizzyDwarf does not stop on the offensive. Sends another wave of units. The reinforcements have arrived. The Ultras are much more bulky now though. I mean, they do have that armor upgrade, but that's still not enough against this bio. They are being focused down one by one. Although the bio also is getting very, very low. And with a few baning hits, most of it is now gone. Of course, this was bio forces, so I mean, it's decently easy to remake, but that means that for the time being, DizzyDwarf does not have a huge standing army. And that may be quite scary. He's also working on ghosts at the moment, so that will be a nice addition to this army. We'll have to snipe the ultras and we'll have to snipe potential air units later as the greatest fire has just started. Another attack is coming from DizzyDwarf, a smaller force this time, and SamirDuran is ready to respond. Actually, the Zerg army is chasing all the way to the base to the Terran of the Terran. The Ultras are just rolling in, and so are the Banings, which will explode on a lot of things, but not that many Marines actually. The Banings are a little bit lost in the Sim City, but the SCVs are falling regardless to the Ultras themselves. More Banings are forcing the wall to the main base, and SamirDuran has done some significant damage, but it's not game-ending damage yet. At the same time, DizzyDwarf was able to establish this base, and it's actually a planetary now. Even though it's very close to our Zerg player, it's currently in a pretty good spot. Also, I definitely get what problem people have with the planetary fortress skin. Like, this gun is just too small. And I don't mean it's too small because it doesn't look big enough, but like the difference between these two is just not big enough. Like when on a at a glance, when you just like glance on it, it's hard to say. Meanwhile, at the top side of the map we have Zerglings getting in through the golden wall, through the golden minerals. The corruptors are here as well to deal with the medivacs. So the bio army will have that much less support. The Zerglings are dealt with on the ramp, but Ultras are still doing damage to the production, which is very important for DizzyDwarf right now. But fortunately for the Terran, they were not able to actually take down most of the buildings. A lot of them were damaged, but not that many losses. SamirDuran now has to regroup, rethink his strategy maybe. As that attack was definitely not worth the resources. I mean, so many units were lost and not that much was gained. Of course, this base was in danger. I think some of the SCVs might have died, but it was already half mined out anyway. It's also a nice little wall from the main CC. So we have another attack from SamirDuran getting ready. This time we have a few Broodlords in the mix. Only 3 though. And he's walking right in between the Terran army. I'm not sure if that's ideal. The Broodlords are kinda stuck in the middle. The Ultras are trying to get into the bio. And they will be able to get most of it. The Broodlords are actually safe. They did get some damage on them, but now this Marauder mostly army is not able to do much. Corruptors, meanwhile, are busy with the command center. Or planetary, even. And those three broodlords alone are dealing with the bio army. GG's called SamirDuran will be putting a point on the board and is now up 2-0. So nicely done there for SamirDuran. And we see what will be the next map in our series. As a reminder, SamirDuran has started with 1 point advantage. I'm thinking faster than I'm speaking. With 1 point advantage, thanks to coming from the upper bracket. You know, it's a bit of a bonus for winning these games early on, that you do start with an advantage in the finals. It is still a best of 5 though, so that 2-0 lead does not finish the series. And we have our next map pick. Okay, we're going into technically game number 3, but map number 2, I guess that's how you could put it. And we will find out if SamirDuran will be the champion of this tournament, or if DizzyDwarf can bring it back. For now, let's look at the first of our players in the bottom right corner of Oceanborn. We have the purple Zerg player representing Platinum Heroes. It is SamirDuran. I don't know why, but I just like saying his name with a different accent. Meanwhile, on the other side of the map, we have the red Terran player representing SCQ. It is DizzyDwarf. SamirDuran once again opening with pool first, something that he definitely likes to do. Meanwhile, DizzyDwarf once again going for the double racks in the wall. We will see if he will make it a third one as well, as he did in the series versus Chanz, I believe. Although, important thing to point out, when he did go for that, he only started with a few Reapers at first, and then he went into Marines, so I feel like it's not your typical double racks. Like, usually it's a bit more committed on the Reapers, but we'll see what DizzyDwarf decides to do. As SamirDuran once again goes for his default build, 6 Zerglings into 2 hatcheries. And that sounds quite scary when you are against someone who is about to be very aggressive. Two racks are already finished, the third one is now going up. And even the Reapers alone will be quite scary to deal with. Fortunately for SamirDuran, he does scout this. The Overlord sees the wall, but is it too late? I mean, the Zerglings are going across the map. We'll see how this plays out. We have the first Reaper poking at the natural base. Second one's coming up as well. Meanwhile, it looks like SamirDuran is waiting for a moment to get into the bases of DizzyDwarf. He's trying to catch this Reaper, but with slow links that would be difficult. In the meantime, the Reapers are trying to see what they can do over here, but actually there are Zerglings, there are Queens, and yeah, DizzyDwarf decides to move back home. So, in a way, SamirDuran was able to buy time to prepare to make more Zerglings, and even though he doesn't have speed, I mean, he doesn't even have the gas for speed yet, he's only getting there. Like, he was able to delay this long enough that he should be fine. I mean, we will see about that though, because the Zerglings, again, are still slow. And SamirDuran is even supply block now. I guess that Overlord must have died to the Marines. That said, it doesn't look like it's super committed from DizzyDwarf. He is making Marines, but he's also expanding at the same time. So yeah, SamirDuran is fine. He also put down his Baneling Nest already, which again will be very helpful against the Bio army that DizzyDwarf is going for. SamirDuran is keeping an eye on DizzyDwarf, making sure that nothing fishy is going on, making sure that he can see whenever is the move out of the Terran. And it looks like the time is now. What do we have in this army? We have the Reapers on the front. We have a lot of Marines in their Brood War skins, I believe. And a single Widow Mine waddling together with them. Also, one is late to the party. The Reapers are the opening act here. They're going for the Queens actually. There are some Banings here, but they are still slow. Speed is more than halfway done, but it's not there yet. First Baning is being targeted. The Widowmine actually triggers on a Queen, and some of the Banings do connect with the army, but not enough to stop this. There are no medivacs with this. This is just Marines, and they are going forward. More Banings are coming in, and they are not dodged or sniped. The entire Marine army is cleaned up. I mean, 3 drones did go down, but only 3 for the entire army. Now the Speedlings are chasing the leftovers of the Marines. The wall is of course still solid, so the game will continue. But this was definitely not what DizzyDwarf wanted here. I guess he got hatchery to half of the health, but yeah, I feel like he was hoping for something more. Didn't quite, micro well enough against those Banelings. And once again, SamirDuran was able to secure his bases, and he will just continue on with his economy. There's also a Zergling scouting this small movement from DizzyDwarf once again, and there is Lingbane there to respond. Ooh, a good connection there for SamirDuran. A big chunk of the Marines does go down to that one Baneling. Very nicely done. Actually, something that... we do have combat shields, okay. So combat shields are up. And we have another wave of the Terran. This time with more Widow Mines, with Marauders. And where is the army of SamirDuran? We do have some Lingbane over here. Banings are rolling in. Some of them are getting sniped, while the rest of the Bio forces are being saved by the medivacs. Have another base from SamirDuran, and at the same time he's also working on Hydras, so that will be the next step. Oh, some of the drones are actually being caught as they're being transferred to another base. Another queen goes down. Widow Mice do trigger on the Zerglings, but the Banlings are not being caught. Regardless, they are sniped well enough. But this is not a big staying force here for DizzyDwarf. That said, we have another wave of reinforcements, this time supported by Cyclones as well. Some of the Widow Mice have reset too. Now the Terran is pushing forward. Does SamirDuran have enough, or was he spending too much time, too much resources on the transition or getting Hydras, getting Lurkers? The Queens are trying to defend from this attack. There are some Banelings as well, and Terran has to hide. A lot of units have been lost, some to friendly fire. But now it's just the Queens, it's just a few Hydras. And I don't think SamirDuran has quite the force to hold this. More Hydras are reinforcing from the top. One of the Cyclones has fallen down, the other is badly damaged. It looks like just barely SamirDuran will be able to clean up this attack as well. Widow Mine will deal with the last of the Banelings. I guess there's one more. But yeah, it looks like both players are suffering some losses, and neither of them really is able to push forward. Same time, it looks like there was a small ring run by going towards the base of DizzyDwarf, but seeing all this attack, SamirDuran decides against it. These Lurkers are unfortunately scanned and they will not be able to get much done, and all four of them are going down. Was that it? Was that it for the forces of SamirDuran? The base goes down, the Zerglings are trying to help clean up this attack, but the hatchery going down is definitely very painful there for our Zerg player. There are more links going for a run by across the map. We'll see if that's the best idea right now. I mean, they may be able to get in there. These SCVs are completely undefended, but the reinforcement force is here. Ooh, that was a lurker egg, I believe. It was just destroyed by the Terran. This base also looks to be forfeit. Some reinforcements were caught in the fire too. And there's another wave of the Terran coming right up. This time with Liberators, and these Queens and Lurkers have a hard time getting to the opponent, really. At least this time the Lurkers were able to dig in, but they are immediately scanned as well, and now the force of the Terran is overwhelming. GG is called, and DizzyDwarf will be putting a point on the board, and, you know, this is not a 3-0. Okay. Okay, we have our next map. we go. Welcome to Alcyone, or Alcyone. Alcyone? Alcyon? Alcyone? Alcyon? One of those. We are now in game number technically 4 of our Grand Finals Best of 5. And we are looking at the first of our players. It is the purple Zerg player from Platinum Heroes. It's SamirDuran. And across the map we have his opponent. It is the red Terran player representing SCQ. It is DizzyDwarf. I see people in the chat discussing the opener of SamirDuran. And again, this is just his stylistic choice. Like, he really likes going for this build, but as we say that, this time he did go for gas a bit early on. So clearly he also agrees that maybe this, you know, triple hatch gasless build is not ideal. For maybe not for this opponent specifically, because DizzyDwarf has shown us that he can be very aggressive. So this time we have slight adjustments to the build. Looks like the Reapers and the Reaper and the Zerglings will meet across the map. We'll meet. We'll meet. We'll meet. Hello? Ah, no, we won't meet. Okay. Okay then. I guess they will not meet in the middle of the map. The Reaper already reaching the natural base, and so do the Zerglings. There is a solid wall though, so SamirDuran won't be able to get much done here, except for the fact that it looks like the Reaper is going back home. So I guess that is a bit of a victory for SamirDuran, that the Reaper will not be posing threat across the map. Also almost got the CV. Very close. Was the add-on? No, the add-on wasn't destroyed. Okay. I guess it must have been cancelled. Also the Overlord was able to get a scout as this was happening. Oh, Thorn is saying I say Alky1 in my head to remember how to spell it. Ah, that's even worse. Oh, the Reaper does go down to the Zerglings eventually. And this time SamirDuran is going for roaches. See, I would say Alcyone, but that's purely because the name of the goddess in Polish is Alcyone, so it makes sense. But look, in English it can be literally anything. The Zerglings are actually getting into the main base. They are being dealt with by the Widowmine, but that was very close there for a moment. Some friendly fire damage as well. I'm actually not sure if maybe one of the SCVs did go down to the Widowmine. But we now have roaches on the way, already popping out. What about the upgrades? I don't think we have a lair yet. No, there is no lair, so no roach speed. There is no Evo chambers either, so this will be completely upgradeless roaches. But regardless, that will be quite annoying to deal with when they are going against Hellions. And the natural base does not have solid defenses yet. So they will be able to get a few SCVs and mule even. The Hellions will now try to help with the defense, but again, roaches are pretty good against Hellions and they will be going forward. The Widowmine definitely softens them up quite a bit. But they are able to get into the main base. They are chasing the Marines. There are not that many of them, but There's also not that many of the roaches and they're already quite damaged. Some nice micro there from DizzyDwarf trying to save those Hellions for as long as possible. At the same time though, what killed seven drones? Were they pulled from home and were they killed by a Widowmine? Or was that some other job that I didn't notice? What? What happened to those 7 drones? Oh, was there a Liberator? I think there was a Liberator. There must have been a Liberator and SamirDuran was so busy with the attack he has not noticed the drones dying. Unfortunate. Another overload going down. SamirDuran close to being supply blocked, so has to be careful about them. Also taking another base as DizzyDwarf is hunting. A double drop is coming across the map. How many units does he have? We have 18 Zerglings, but that's about the entire army of SamirDuran. Of course we have Queens as well. Ooh, one of the medivacs does get sniped together with all the Marines in it. Very nicely done there by SamirDuran. It was a nice little victory there. Another force of the Terran is ready though. The Zerglings did try to intercept it, but weren't there quite in time. We have a Liberator in this army, we have a few Widow Mines as well. Meanwhile, on the other side, bending speed is about to be, I mean, it's still halfway done. Like, it's still gonna be a while before it's ready. The Queens are starting to fall with all of this team against them. And we have Zerglings against this army. Slow bendings are not quite gonna cut it. More Widow Mines are joining in. The Queens are trying to march forward, but they have to be careful about the Liberator. Speed is about to be finished for the Banelings, and that will definitely change this battle. But SamirDuran has to hold this. Now he's going forward. The Widow Mines will trigger on the Zerglings. The Banelings do survive. But DizzyDwarf just picks up. And the Terran army is safe. For the most part. Nice siege by the Liberator on the hatchery. A lot of drones will be going down. But the Queen has just popped and will be able... Ooh! Actually wasn't able to deal with the Liberator, but the Spore was. Now a counter-attack from SamirDuran is going across the map. But there are reinforcements there. It's a lot of Banelings, so gotta keep that in mind, and they're about to be finished. The Widow Mines have already fired, so they will not help against this. DizzyDwarf has to split, has to snipe these Banelings as fast as he can. And he is able to do so for the most part. I mean, only a few units survive, but that's good enough for now. Okay, what is the army of SamirDuran looking like? We have 26 Zerglings right now, they just popped. There are no Banelings yet, there still have to be more. Hydra then is on the way. Queens are getting ready for another round as the Terran army is moving into the base. Queens alone won't be able to deal with it, and they're starting to fall down quite quickly to a lot of Marauders. At the same time, more drones are dying, but so are the SCVs. I believe some banelings must have rolled into the base of DizzyDwarf. At the same time, we have Zergings surrounding this army. The Widow Mines are definitely helping here. And the army was able to be picked up. Yeah, this looks like a baneling attack. A lot of damage to SCVs. Another run by going for the third base of the Terran this time. At the same time, though, more drones are dying as well, so both players are losing quite a lot of workers, but yeah, we'll see which one will be able to come out on top. As the banelings are rolling into the natural base of DizzyDwarf. More SCVs are falling. That's a big mule hammer there. But the difference in workers is starting to become quite significant. I mean, in the end, like, it's kind of the thing about the way SamirDuran plays, because he's expanding so greedily, because, like, he often cuts it so close with how little units he has, how few units he has. But if you let him get away with that, like, he will snowball into a big economy, and then it's just, you know, he basically out-macros you in a way where, like, he just has the ability to make more units. And this small force of the Terran is no longer that scary. There are Hydras, there are Banelings, and they will be chasing this army. The third base of the Terran is still not fortified. The natural also doesn't have all that many units defending it. SamirDuran decides this is the time to attack. The Widow Mine cannot even burrow, the second one won't either. The Hydras are dealing with this base while the Link Bane is rolling forward into the natural. And with that, GG is called. SamirDuran will be taking the series and the tournament 3-1. So GG, very well played there for SamirDuran. Again, I feel like that's something that I've been mentioning, that like the way that SamirDuran plays is very risky a lot of times. That's why it's so baffling to me as a Zerg player. That's just the way he plays, because he can be so greedy in so many spaces, and if he can get away with it, it just starts him with a very good economy, and then when it gets to, like, you know, mid game, that's when he can really shine, because he has that economy already set up, and then he can just, you know, outproduce the opponent, so to speak. But yeah, getting there is the tricky part, because, you know, one wrong move and it's over. So that's why we've also seen that it wasn't easy for him against DizzyDwarf, because DizzyDwarf can be very aggressive. He has the good control from the early points of the game. And yeah, so that was not an easy road, so shoutouts to DizzyDwarf. Definitely a nice match there, but in the end SamirDuran will be taking it 3-1. And yeah, congratulations. As a reminder, SamirDuran also was the winner of our random raffle, so that will even sweeten his victory here. But yeah, for now, that will be it for Master Swan Open number 86. As a reminder, if you want to support this specific tournament, this edition, the number 86, you can do so via Matcherino. So check out that link in the chat or in the description if you are maybe watching this on YouTube, because we also stream on YouTube. Meanwhile, if you want to support our tournaments in general, if you want to see this series continue, if you want to see this series grow, as well as the other tournaments that we host, because again, We have Master Swan Open, which is for the Masters players. We have Ducklings Open, which is for the Diamond players, also a monthly tournament. And we also have Sparkling Tuna Cup, which is an open tournament for professionals and amateurs alike. So if you want to support these free tournaments, if you want to see them feature bigger prize pools, if you want to see us maybe do more tournaments in the future, we currently have Tenacious Turtle Tasso as well, although it is sponsored by a specific person. So yeah, if you want to see those tournaments continue and grow, then make sure to check out the Patreon. You know, if you don't have the funds, that's perfectly fine. Like, you know, everybody has their own struggles currently, so that's perfectly fine. But, you know, if you think, hey, I could probably spare like $1 or $5 a month, like, then why not? You also get replay packs if you are a $5 or more Patreon, so that is also available if you are interested. Just the same as when you are a Twitch subscriber or a YouTube member. All those groups are eligible to receive replay packs. For Patreon, it's directly on Patreon. For Twitch and YouTube, it is through Discord, as that's the only way really we have to directly message the supporters. And yeah, if you like what we do here, if you would like to see more StarCraft casting, of course, usually you can see Light here on this channel as he is the main caster of the CranKy Ducklings. So if you want to see more of the CranKy Ducklings, then make sure to follow us here on Twitch and YouTube. Or make sure to follow us on socials, as we are on Twitter, we are on Facebook, we are on Instagram, we are on Mastodon, we are on Blue Sky. Most importantly, we are on Discord. Discord is the center hub of our activity, so if you want to be kept up to date, then make sure to take a look there. I know that there's you know, a lot of people are are posting about Blue Sky lately, so you can also follow us there if you are interested. We are also posting there. And yeah, meanwhile, if you want to follow me specifically, I am Kuro, also known as 16th Squad Sanseki. I know it's a long name. Typically, I am the person behind the scenes of CranKy Ducklings. I only cast for these amateur tournaments and sometimes for the Polish tournaments as well. So that's usually where you can find me. But if you want to see me specifically, streaming, playing other games usually, although StarCraft sometimes as well, then make sure to check out me at twitch.tv/16squadsanseki or at YouTube at 16squadsanseki. I try to have the same username on every platform, except when it's too long, then you know, that happens. But generally you can find me on all of these platforms under 16squadsanseki, as well as on Twitter, Mastodon and Blue Sky too. So yeah, without further ado, we will now find some StarCraft streamer to raid. And yeah, the next stream we have is tomorrow. It is Sparkling Tuna Cup, our weekly open tournament, open to everyone. So if you feel like participating, no matter if you are a professional player or if maybe you are an amateur, everybody is allowed to play in Sparkling Tuna Cup. So make sure to check it out tomorrow around the same time. So I will see you guys there. It will be, of course, casted by Light VIP, so tune in, and until then, take care. I will see you guys later. Bye.